Good morning, Joey in chat.
Hello. Welcome, 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 guys. How are we? Claw coming in with a tier 1 for 18 months in a row, 1.5 years. Crazy work. Shocking rain. Oh, it's bound to come down here then. I think it's time for the illnesses, guys. I think it's time for the illnesses. Mini JDT has a cold at the moment.
Cowboy hat face.
Let's go, Stefan Axelson coming in with a member for 20 months in a row. Stefan, I appreciate you in your face. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you. How are you? Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Nemo, Vital, Grass, CPR, good afternoon. Am I live on YouTube? I am. Amoga, yep. Tristan, welcome. Bodge, Dean, hello, hello. DJ, welcome. And Chris over on Kick, welcome over to the YouTube as well. Nerd, Gary, Sebek, Rag, Russ, Murray, Ben, Skog, Beth, hello. Big Joe, good afternoon. Krish, hello. How are you? Love from India, much love.
Well.
Legendary Claude, thank you very much for the 20 months in a row. Crazy. The double support is nuts. Thank you very much. I have a broken Game Boy Advance motherboard that needs some love. You're up for the task. Depends. Raise a thingy, dude. Exclamation mark FreeRepair. And I'll if it's something that I'm interested in, I'll get back to you.
I think you dropped this king.
Wow, what, £10? I definitely didn't drop £10. But thank you very much, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that, Tom. How are you, mate? How's everything going? How's the DJ life, mate? Thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Thank you. Hi, Joe. What do you know? Yo, Louise, welcome. How are you? Andrew, welcome. Motive, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, Mini JDT got a little bit of a snotty nose now. Last night was a bit... it wasn't bad at all, actually. You know, we actually had when I say a decent night's sleep, it was a lot of like waking up. You know what I mean? It was one of those. We woke up a lot. And yeah, she had like a really, really snotty sense to her. Not snotty as in snotty coming out, but just like blocked up. So I feel like it's the come before the storm, one of those situations. You see what I'm saying? Because of the weather at the moment as well, I've noticed, and I said this to my missus, right? The times where we as a family get ill, more so me, but we as a family, is when there is a change in the weather. When it starts to change, when the weather starts to change, that's when it happens. I actually done super well last year in terms of, well, I say last year, in the past 12 months, I've actually done super well in terms of like feeling good and not getting ill. Touch wood, please. Touch wood. And it's that side of things is going really well. So I hope maybe I can just carry on. Awful Mr. Bird.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for the tier 1 for 11 months. Crazy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hope she's feeling better soon. Thank you, Beth. How are you today? Make sure everything's ready to go. How's everyone else doing? Is everyone else okay? Is everyone else doing all right? I think I bit like the inside of my cheek or something. Thank you very much for the hype train. Appreciate it. The tier 1 for 11 months. The level 1 hype train. Soon to be very close to level 2. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the support. Thank you. One of those coming in with a prime for 5 months in a row. ND, welcome. How are you over on Kick? Joe, you've loads of illnesses coming. My girls are now teenagers, but going to go play through an infants every couple of months. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah, ride the wave. Ride the wave. Yep, 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 yep. Hey, Ben, welcome. Can finally be online for a full stream after weeks. Let's go. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's life? Has life been busy because of like just school and stuff? Snaz, thank you very much for the follow. Dan Streamer, hello, how are you? Yeah, it's a breeding ground, isn't it? For illnesses. It's a breeding ground for illnesses. She's not started yet, so I guess it's only going to be a matter of time. It's only going to be a matter of time. 8-hour drive, Lord Glove. Gunness, thank you. Hello from Australia. How are you? What time is it over there? $5K subs on my POV YouTube. Big milestone. Nice, Tom. POV for DJing. That's awesome, man. I was thinking about POV for repairs. Yeah, I was thinking about POV for repairs. Snows coming in with a prime. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. The Prime subscription pushes us up to a level 2 hype train. Thank you, my friend. That's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. Wasting your Prime on myself. 10:40 PM on a Sunday. Wow, it's 10:40 PM. In the Oz. It's not a vape chat, it's water. H2O. Now, I'm waiting on some stuff to come in. I didn't want to do a profit or loss on the item that I have right now. However, I was maybe thinking about doing some KeyCAD today on stream and learning, but I just think it would be a little bit too like chaotic and hectic. So yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it though. I was really, really thinking about it. I did think maybe we could do some KeyCAD. For those who don't know what KeyCAD is, I believe it's like just some software for PCB development and schematics, etc., etc. So yeah, I was thinking about that. Dark, welcome. How are you? Guys, hype train level 2. 20 seconds left on the clock, supposedly. Thank you very much, 22%. Very late in Aussie, nearly midnight in Sydney. Wow, so it's 11 o'clock. Lord Glove. That for the training board? Yeah, I was thinking about doing some of that, but I think it would just be a little bit too chaotic and hectic. One in the chat if you saw yesterday's video. What's people's thoughts and opinions? What's people's thoughts and opinions? Because I got a lot of thoughts and opinions on comments. Yeah, the PS5 Pro that I left you hanging with. Yeah, on the live. Yep. It's still working. Yeah, it's still working. You should have got more money back. That was a lot that I was seeing. Thing is, it's tough in those situations, right? Because again, I tried making this a little bit clear in the video, but I understand where people's heads would be at, and I know that not everybody's going to understand essentially, right? But it's that whole, if I demand more money back, or if I return the item, then I don't get the content and I don't get to share that experience. I don't get the video out and I don't get to make money on the video. So it's like I have to have a little bit of leeway there in that regard, because it makes a story, you know. It's one of those. It's really tough. It's really, really tough. yeah, for me, it's an investment, even though it doesn't, to a lot of people, okay, most people, it doesn't quite look like an investment, right? It looks like I have just chucked away £400. Was it a gift or a customer return? I bought it. Nerd. I bought a console from eBay. I bought a PS5 Pro from eBay. Yeah, it was both according to the seller. Facts. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're talking about the actual listing. Apologies. Yeah, exactly. Was it a gift or was it a customer return? Wrestling Throwbacks, thank you very much for becoming a YouTube Legendary Status member. I appreciate you. It's very kind. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Which one was it? Facts. It was a risk, but I get it for the content. You lucked out on that one. True. I agree. I think I got seriously lucky. I would actually concur there that I got lucky. I don't know if you guys would agree. I know that obviously you could say that obviously there was partially some skill there involved when it comes to the actual fix, and I'm really glad that I revisited it, if that makes sense. Really glad that I revisited it, because it could have been horrendous, couldn't it? Yeah, there was clearly liquid damage in it, I think, which is very rare. I think we can all agree. It's very rare to see liquid damage on a PS5 Pro. I mean, I've personally never seen a liquid damage PS5 Pro in my life. Yo!
Hi, Joey. Your streams are much more worth paying money for than any camgirl Joey do 6 banana Joey do 6 banana Joey do 6 banana.
That's what you've come in with? Miro, thank you very much for the tier 1 for 20 months in a row. 21 months. Crazy work, mate. And I appreciate you and your face. Thank you. It's very kind. Hello. Who else we got?
Good morning from NY.
Morning. How are you, Carson, my friend? Tier 1, 13 months in a row. You absolute legend. Thank you. Hello, Joe. Any advice on how to start and getting better at finding shorts and repairing from there? I can change a component and trace repair so far. Redface, if you're telling me you can change components and you can do trace repairs, I'd say you're pretty much ready for, the theory side of things. If you do !LearnRepair, there's probably a video there that will tell you a lot better than what I would be able to tell you, if that makes sense. It will send you a link to an even better video where you can actually learn more so the actual theory behind electronics and what the stuff does. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I see it as a learning investment. Knowledge is power and worth the price. Exactly. Yeah, there's a very fine line between knowing before just being, willing to lose stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, that PS5 that I bought, it could have been horrendous, but I just knew in the back of my head that even if it was really horrendous, people were going to buy the parts for that console for at least £300. So I'm not negative £400. I'm negative the 100. That makes sense?
For the hashtag PS5 Pro refund should have been higher fund.
Thank you very much, Tom, for the £5. I appreciate you. Thank you. Delboy, welcome. All's well. Good to hear, mate. Ever thought about a DSLR repair? Yeah, I have thought about them, but I remember taking apart some disposable cameras and they were an absolute nightmare. I got 3 screws in and I was like, this is not for me. At least you have a working one to compare for the next one. Exactly that. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm going to have this for. Like I said, I'm probably just going to run it in, play some games on it, and go from there. Game Joy, welcome, buddy. How are you? Restoration of retro? Probably not. No. Yeah, the system layout didn't seem to be different from a regular PS5. Yeah, the Slim specifically. It didn't seem too different from the Slim. Because it had been open before, in terms of screw locations and stuff, I'm pretty sure I nailed it, but I could be entirely wrong. There might be 1 or 2 places that I messed up with, but I don't think that is the case. But yeah, pretty much the same as what a Slim is. It was bought then broken, tried to fix and failed, so returned it back to store. Someone bought it as a return item and given it back as a wedding gift. Do you reckon, Big Joe? You reckon that's what it was? Vintage consoles. No, probably not. Probably not, Mace. All good, Pelsy. How are you? 1, a PS5 Pro to play on, and 2, a great new video, 3, more experience. Win. Yeah. I wonder what makes it Pro. The APU, I'm pretty sure, is an upgrade, as well as the RAM. So in the video, I said that because you have the RAM, which is a, guys, what was it called? It was HC20, which is 20 megabits or megabytes, I think megabits per second, in terms of data rate transfer to the APU. So it's a lot better in that regards. I don't know about storage, actually. Is it 2 terabyte? Is it a 2 terabyte? I didn't even check that. I'm pretty sure it is, especially you're paying for that sort of price, right? I'm pretty sure. Fast RAM and fast APU. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I could be wrong. Yo, Deadpool, I'm good. How are you? Hex, welcome and thank you very much for the follow. Hey, Jay, any suggestions for a soldering iron for someone who is just starting? I have a video of like a beginner soldering journey and what I would do if I was doing console repair. If you do exclamation mark learn repair, there's that. I am just thinking though, because I've got something to open that I haven't opened yet for a video that I want to put out, but I'm thinking, do I do the video as a live stream and do I do it with you guys so that everybody's got like a bit of a view on it, and it is completely raw. A complete raw opening experience of a soldering kit, because I've got the solder bundle to open. For those who don't know what solder is, it is a small company that have made a product for hobbyists that want to get into soldering. I was going to do a video on it, but I mean, in terms of actual content for the live stream, I could do it live like I have done before with the Tomlov microscope. The first time we done the Tomlov, it wasn't great, and then the second time that it came, because I wasn't a massive fan of the 4K aspect, and then this time it's been amazing. So yeah, huge thank you to you, Joey. I changed my first M92T36 on a Switch using your advice and videos. Lovely jubbly. That's what I love to hear, John. Good stuff, mate. Well done. Bean Dip, welcome. Save Our Stuff, welcome. What battery power screwdriver are you using to disassemble consoles? I try and manually screw a PS5 and it's a pain in the... Well, I mean, I used a T8 normal screwdriver for ages, and then I recently just invested in a cheapy T8. It's like a new... I can't even remember what it's called. New Master. Cheapy Amazon electric screwdriver. And I've been using that for a little bit. And it's done a job. Like, I use it to take apart, but I don't use it to put it back together, if that makes sense, because I don't want to strip it. So yeah, that's what I do. Spanner, welcome. First live, good to have you here, mate. I'm glad you could be here. Welcome. Thanks for coming, mate. I hope you enjoy it. It's not going to be anything too special. It never really is, but I appreciate you being here. I was swearing at my iron. It'd be nice to see what the other kits can do. Hi, Joe. I'm in the hospital in Scarborough after breaking my leg. The second day on my holiday! No! Chris, how did you break your leg? What on earth? Nice fix on the PS5 Pro yesterday.
Nice fix on the PS5 Pro yesterday, Joey.
Thank you so much, Save Our Stuff. I appreciate you. That's awesome. Coming in as well as a member for 29 months is crazy underneath legendary status membership. So thank you very much. Chris, I'm really, really sorry to hear that. That sucks so much. Joe, I don't see any ducting in your videos. How do you get the fumes out? I've got a fume extractor, mate. Big one. It's an Atten. It's a big boy. Tripped over the dog, mate. I'm so sorry to hear. Are you in a cast and stuff now, right? Cast? Make a video. Yeah, do that. The only soldering iron regret I have is getting the twist on instead of the cartridge. True. Yeah. Hacker or Weller. Yep. There good starts. Good day. Hello. Good day from Oz. Chopper, welcome. Are you finding that this hobby is paying for itself, or does it require YouTube to balance it? Oh, Will. It requires YouTube massively. It's not even about balance. It's 100% content creation for me. I don't make any money with repairs other than what you see on Profit or Loss, and it's just not enough to live on. If you haven't seen Profit or Loss, I highly advise watch it. I say a lot, and I know that people have this question a lot. Save Our Stuff, thank you very much for the tier 1 for 20 months. I have this question a lot, and people say, you know, how do you do this for a living, Joey? Like when you watch like Profit or Loss, Sally Spectacular Spreadsheet, how do you do this for a living? But it's, you know, for me, it's the content. If I was to want to make a living from repairing electronics, I'd do repair as a service. I love gaming, Mace. I really, really enjoy gaming. Russ!
2 whole months. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you very much, mate, for becoming a YouTube Legendary status member and hanging on in there for 2 months. Thank you, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Save Our Stuff as well, like I said, with the tier 1 for 20 months. Legendary. Thank you. I have 3 soldering irons, and the one I get on with the most is my cheap Amazon one. Fair enough. Tried and failed to tin a USB port on a Switch yesterday. You make it look so easy. Any tips? I think that's something as well, right? A lot of people think this hobby is easy. I think maybe I don't. Do I not portray enough? Is that what it is, chat? I don't portray enough how difficult the hobby is. I try to, because I feel like I speak about it enough, but maybe I just don't. Maybe I don't speak about how difficult this hobby actually is enough. Maybe I make it look easy, when in reality, obviously, we all know that it's really, really difficult, man. We'll have some content on your game. I've done content on streams. They don't go too well. So I kind of do them much more as like a hobby basis. Just bought a Switch Lite to play on. Doesn't need repair yet. Lovely jubbly. Top 3 games. Well, I've just started playing a bit of Path of Exile 2. So I know the new season came out and I'm really late to it. So I'm just having a look at a bit of Path of Exile 2. My top 3 games, I'd say, do you know what I'd say? Zakam, thank you very much. Zakam1002 with a tier 1, thank you. I think I was chatting with MSB about this as well, guys. It's September, where you get a discount on subs, so I appreciate that a lot, Zakam. Thank you, my friend. Old School RuneScape has to be up there on my top 3, in terms of like the amount of time that I've actually spent in games. For memories, for me, PUBG has to be up there. For anybody who has played PUBG, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, it was up there. I had a lot of memories on PUBG with some friends. So yeah, PUBG's up there for me. And I'd probably say League has to be up there because it's probably my most played. League of Legends, Old School RuneScape, and PUBG are my top 3, and they're all so toxic. Except for RuneScape. I mean, RuneScape isn't that toxic, but League of Legends is probably the most toxic game ever in existence, and PUBG was very toxic back in the day. Yeah. You make it look easy. You just became good at it. It was just catching up. Noticed your last stream was muted in the middle of the Twitch. Wonder what happened. Sometimes port could be because of certain music used, which is annoying because I pay for a license to be able to just stream this music, but it's what it is. You make it look easy, mate. There's definitely people that see you, feel when others do it, and overestimate their own abilities. I'm not looking to make a living off it, more so just to pay for itself. Just bought my first broken Switch on eBay last week. I've also watched hundreds of hours of YouTube. Your YouTube has been huge for the console specifically and fixing them. Thank you, Will. I'd say more so trying to make it pay for itself is just going to be buying and fixing and selling. But I think even that is shooting too far. If I'm being honest with you, Will, I'm saying that in the nicest way possible, because when I started this out and doing this as a hobby, you can go back to my very first video on the channel. If you go onto YouTube and go onto videos and sort by oldest to newest, you'll see my first couple of videos and how I was saying that the funds that I was using to fund that hobby was just leftover, that I had money that I was willing to chuck away. So I'd go, I've got 50 quid this month that I can literally just chuck in a hole. And instead what I was doing is I was purchasing the faulty stuff. So it would be like a bundle of faulty Nintendo DS Lites. At first it was like getting hold of anything free that I could, and people helped me out because I asked, and you know, there's all those things. But I would say start very small. You don't need to go out and buy Nintendo Switches. You don't need to go out and buy PS5's and Xbox Series X's and all of those. You can start with a Nintendo DS Lite for £5–10. That's all you have to do. Take it apart, put it back together. Do not do this for profit. You have to understand, I think there's a lot of people out there that need to see this as well. You can't do this for profit, to like straight out the gate. It's not going to work. And if you go in this hobby with that expectation, you will lose. You will. As hard and as horrible as that is. But I'd rather say that and save you money than not say it and then you lose money. So that's why anybody who asks, I always advise any cheap electronics you can get hold of, stuff that people have in your family that are broken, then ask for that perhaps, or you know, any devices that you've got that you're, you know, confident in breaking, then just take it apart and put it back together. If you've got like an old phone from like 2006, I'm so old, from 2006, and you're like, I don't care about that phone anymore, I've got all the data and everything off of it, let's just take it apart, see how it works, put it back together, see what happens. But obviously just be very, very careful when you do all of these things as well. Hardest part is waiting a week to get your broken console that you can't wait to try repairing. Yeah. Of course you make it look easy when it is easy, Joe. Zeeks, welcome buddy, how are you? Long time no speak, mate. I hope you're well. I miss you. Love says, I love the content. I'm going to start trying to solder together a BK Butler tube dryer. I don't know what that is. The parts are delicate and tiny. A bit insecure. What solder method to use for any advice? I don't know what that is, my friend, unfortunately. 10 Reball RAM chip replacements is some task. Can't even do one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tried watching one of your older videos, but your white headphones triggered me. Really? That's funny, man. PUBG was fun. PUBG was fun. Attempting a Series X trace repair on HDMI with no pass left. Can have nightmares from it. Yeah, it's tough. Year 1 of 2 PUBG was that? It was. Yeah. Chicken dinner was tough. Yep. PUBG was led. Yeah, it was. Gavin. Hey Joe, I got my Xbox Series X HDMI repaired a year ago and now display is on and off. HDMI port does not move. Do you think a resolder will repair it? Depends, Gavin. It could be a bunch of different things. Sounds like a dodgy port. I don't know, like 12 years ago, 3 players followed me around for an hour. I was grinding combat levels and killing me and everything. Oscar RuneScape. There's a learning curve with any new hobby. Like I've been 3D printing for just short 2 years, but it took me 12 months to learn. And YouTube cramp, yeah, I bet. The eBay part can also be horrific. From 3 things I bought last week, 2 went back because people tried to scam. Exactly that, yep. Yeah, all good, thank you, Z. It's all good. The money is in customer repair, but you need to buy stuff. You can mess up first to gain the skills. eBay is not a career. Facts! Well, eBay repair is not a career. But then even I might be wrong. You see what I'm saying? There might be people out there that are doing phones. Who was it who does phones? Bugsy, right? Bugsy does phones, and Bugsy can make a little bit of profit with the phone. So, you know, who am I to say that eBay repair is not profitable? Console eBay repair is tough. But then maybe I should start investing if I was to really want to make money from it, guys. If I said, right, I need to really start making money because I can't make ends meet and I can't look after my family and whatnot. If I started doing older consoles, PS3s, you know, those sorts of things, and turning them into what they call like Frankensteins or whatever you want to call them, and selling them for a little bit more money and looking into the firmware side of things. And there is a smarter way to do it, you know. There is a smarter way to do it. It's easy. You just move a little wire and then you put a little trace here. Come on, easy stuff. Yeah. I think your best videos are the ones where you explain in detail what you are doing. More of those videos would be appreciated. I appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe a repeat that is practice, practice, practice. Nothing in life is that simple. Factually true. It's really tricky. I'm trying myself at the moment, and I've made mistakes. Lost a little, gained a little. Just figured out switch parental controls. Not easy. Well done, Joe, for helping and advising. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe show some video edits. Show where things go wrong. We all learn by mistakes. Yeah, I've been looking into that a little bit recently as well. Do you have any quick tips? Sorry, do you have any tips for cleaning logic boards of very minor liquid damage? IPA and a toothbrush for very minor liquid damage. Minor liquid damage doesn't do much, by the way, in terms of being, what do you call it? A, corrosive, and B, conductive. It kind of has to get quite severe for it to become conductive and to really, really break things. So, how do you take out a PS5 power MOSFET next to the GPU? I put my height for 5 to 10 minutes, still not hot enough. I popped it right there. I was scared about burning something. What a PS5 MOSFET next to the GPU? PS5 power MOSFET. Yeah, it's tough. I use the PS5 SSD cover, and I put it along the cap so they don't pop. And then I make sure that I get the board up to a temperature. I literally go around the whole board with 480 at 99%, getting the board up to a good temp. If I was smarter, I'd have a board heater, but I don't have that. I'd always recommend a board heater. Make life 10 times easier. 100% agree. It's a hobby, and when you get a little better, it's nice to help friends and family who can't afford repairs. It is nice, yeah. I've seen Joey's old videos. He didn't make it look easy at the beginning. Yep, Joey's skills have rocketed over the moon since then because I've been practicing, right? And guys, I'll be honest, I've not practiced too much because don't forget, I'm kind of content first in that respect. That's what makes me a living. So I'm not sat here all day learning how to solder and learning how to do these things. The only time I'm learning is when I'm recording. So, you know, it was a bit different when I was at Rocket Repairs. When I was at Rocket Repairs, I had a year and a half. That was my job. So I wouldn't say I learned loads at Rocket Repairs, but I already knew a lot before then. It was just practicing and honing in on my skills, if that makes sense. And that gave me what I needed to get better. Like if I was somebody who worked in a shop or a repair shop every single day, like how I used to, I'd be so much further along now. But it is what it is. Worst thing is waiting like a week for a brick phone just to find out that's how you need to authorize. Oh yeah, that sucks. Yeah, phones are weird. Joey, what do you use for stub? Wait there. I'm the kind of person that gets all the tools for set up to repair and just realize I'm missing something simple like tweezers. I love that. Tales from my garage. Joey, what do you use for stub and corrosion? Sometimes doesn't work. Have you tried Deoxit or that spray that Tronics Fix uses? You've inspired me to open my own repair shop. I'm now doing PS3 Frankenstein. Nice, Tales. I love that. Water can be really good for sugary stuff. Anything else is usually IPA. Some people like swear by acetone and stuff, but not me personally. I've never used that. I can do what I need to do with IPA and water if need be. How do you know what the first video was? When you first used an ammeter. I'm trying to learn how to use one properly. An ammeter wasn't too hard for me personally to learn. Everyone's different, obviously. Because I'd already learned a few things before that. It would have been when I'd done my Nintendo Switch repairs, because that's when I first had an ammeter. It was when I started repairing Nintendo Switches. I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look now. Date. Let's go into a Switch one. See if I can find more of that ammeter. I don't even know if maybe I Nintendo Switch doesn't power on. SMD soldering.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, YouTube. What's going on? It's your boy Joey Does Tech, and welcome yourselves back to a brand new video. This one is going to be a follow-up from last week's video where I bought a Nintendo Switch for £50 on eBay.
Here we go.
Tried to fix it, but
ready?
A brand new USB-C fast charging device for the Nintendo Switch. This cost me £14.99 on Amazon. I have a USB amp meter that was actually suggested to me by Stedstick's Fix, aka Steve, so thank you for that, as well as another amp meter. This one's USB-C, so you have two separate ones. So this one is just...
How I found that, by the way, 450 videos I have on my channel, and I just found what video I had a USB amp meter in, my first ever one.
Just a generic USB one.
I was thinking like Joey.
with 2 outputs for USB. I thought it would be more accurate for the Nintendo Switch, or I'd perhaps get better use and more use out of it for the
This
Nintendo
lasted me
Switch
ages, by the way.
specifically.
This lasted
I
me
also
so
have
long.
a Nintendo Switch battery. This cost me £10, I think, from eBay. So yeah, it's HAC003, which is...
So yeah. And to be precise, that was 4 years ago, July 3rd, 2021. So more than a year after I started is when I first started using my amp. That's how long I was at this for. How do you store batteries, consoles? Are you worried about fire explosions? I would advise to anybody to have like a bucket of sand near them. That'd be like the best practical advice. And probably don't have them in the house. €30 for a Switch battery. Well, Frankie requires BGA machine, which is not cheap. Does it? I didn't know that. Do you have any advice for learning BGA soldering? Are RAM and eMMC chips on the easy side, or are they on the darker side? They're on any sort of BGA side, is what I'd say. And what I'd probably advise in that respect is just give it a go. Just buy faulty ones, faulty devices, take those BGA ones off, and then buy the kit that you need from AliExpress and all those good things for cheap, and then just crack on. Yeah, NanoFix gets a lot of stuff from AliExpress. Yeah. A lot of the tech repair guys do. Do you know some good Discord channel for repair? I'd probably shill the JDT one. Because we have a forum in there, so if it's like forum like questions and answers. So if you do have an issue, you can raise a request in the Discord, and then somebody with some expertise will come along and help you. A lot of people get satisfaction out of helping people as long as they can be helped. There's some people that can't be helped, as we have had to experience, unfortunately. But a lot of the time, people just want to learn. Right, let's get into this then, right? So I know this is going to be really, really random. Let's do this, man. Let's unbox this, shall we? Let's unbox this solder thing because we can go through it together. And, you know, I'll start off with saying a few different things, okay? I'll start off with saying a few different things because I want this to be as fair. I want this review to be as fair as possible. Okay. Where is that? If you do exclamation mark LearnRepair for the recording setup, there should be an affiliation link there for my like YouTube studio bit, so you should be able to see of like what the YouTube side of things looks like. I've also uploaded a short. When does the short go out? Is the short out now? Is the TikTok out? No, when's it going out? 3 o'clock. So if you load up my Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok in about 20 minutes, you'll see a new short, and it goes as follows. It's not going to play. I was waiting for it to play, and it never played. But it's scheduled, so it will be there. But it's my POV. My stream my last stream, I took like a POV of like how everything looked. So I've kind of just my friends made that into a short. Thank you, Solana. I appreciate that. Congrats on your PS5 Pro repair. I envy you for your luck. Mine after I've had my fair share of bad luck. Don't worry about that. Mine after a HDMI port replacement is now stuck on a software error that nothing is known about. That's strange. Boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, 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 boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-boom, boom, ba-da-boom, boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-boom, boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, ba-da-boom, boom. Boom, boom, ba-da-boom, boom, ba-bum, boom, ba-bum, boom, ba-da-boom, boom. Ah! Did I take... Wait a minute. Oh, no. Did I do a thumbnail for this? God knows where that's going to be. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I did, but I could be wrong. All right. I'm just thinking little arrow. Yeah, something like that. Okay, it's about to be interesting, chat. About to be interesting. So, a company reached out to me and they said, hey, we've got this product. We'd love to send it to you. And I'm always a bit skeptical when I hear that, because when a company reaches out, they're usually always wanting something in return. I can name 2 occasions where that's not happened. And Tom Love is one of them with the microscope that I got. They didn't expect anything in return. No live stream, no video, nothing. And the other one is a company called Solder. And they sent me this lovely piece of equipment. And as you can see on the bag itself, it says Solder. What is Solder? Solder is an all-in-one beginner. I don't even know if it's right to say beginner, because I don't know if it's beginner or like if it's like a basic to intermediate sort of a situation. But I'm going to call it an all-in-one soldering solution for people who are, I'd say, ideally on the go or a hobbyist when it comes to soldering. I don't know if this is going to be suitable for anybody who's into like console repairs and working on big motherboards. I think from what I've seen on the Kickstarter, that by the way raised around about 850,000 euros, which is now closed, I think they're shipping these things out for pre-order. And one thing I will say is that this is a very early production kit. They're still making adjustments, they're still making changes. I'm pretty sure they're still open to feedback, but lots of people have already pre-ordered this kit, and we're going to take a look at that today, right now. All right, chat. So I do think it's like a handy portable kit. But like I said, the company reached out. They weren't stressed about anything. They just said, we just want to send you this. I will say now, I've not been paid to promote this product at all in any way, shape or form. They did, however, offer me a chance for affiliation. So any of these that I managed to sell, I'd get some sort of a kickback. I declined on this occasion because I wanted this whole review / unboxing situation to be as authentic as possible. And I didn't want people, you know, taking it the wrong way by me saying, oh, if you want to buy one of these. And not that I think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. And I think actually from a business perspective for Joey, it's very dumb to say no. However, because I don't know if I do any videos on this later on down the line, you know, they're not going to be as effective as what the first one is going to be on my channel. I don't think so anyway. So yeah, I said no to an affiliation because, like I said, I want this to be as authentic as possible. So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what it's like. This is complete first sort of view. I opened it slightly on a live stream before, probably like, I think it was like this. I opened it on a live stream and I shut it and I said, no, I'm going to save it for a video. Turns out, obviously, I'm doing a live stream right now. And what I'm going to do is open it fresh. I have not had a look inside of this. We're going to do that together now. Does that make sense, chat? Yes or no? A company wants nothing normally, no good, they have a product, and it will be then in. A company that wants nothing normally, no, they have a good product. Yeah, potentially. Yo, Bormu, how are you, mate? Welcome. Sponsor spot versus review, you're totally within proper ethics doing it this way. I think so, yeah, I think so. Graham, welcome, buddy. How are you, my friend? Okay. I'm going to try and just raise the lights a little bit and make it a little bit brighter because this is, my lighting situation is so bad, guys. Isn't it? I really need to get it sorted. Let me put these right down. Yeah, I really need a better lighting setup. Okay. This is what I'm greeted with. Now, first impressions, it's a nice little bag, right? I think we can all agree. I don't know if it's like, you know, really, really good quality, but the fact that it's got a nice little handle, this is very portable. And it's not heavy. This is not heavy to carry around. I mean, you know, it's as heavy as what you'd sort of expect it to be. I like the fact it's got these little pouches at the front. I don't know if they're not elastic, so they're not going to be able to like hold anything. Again, like trying to get this is quite tough, but I don't know what the purpose of those are. Like, is this for pens that go in here? But again, when you see stuff like this, it's like usually like elastic, so it kind of holds onto something snug. But if you were to put a pen in there, cool. Obviously the branding down the bottom where it says solder. Let's get right into this then. I actually need to confirm what model it is and how much this would actually cost somebody retail. I get asked all the time, Joey, what's the best thing to get as a beginner? And if I can recommend something like this, then that would be cool. You can't put screwdrivers in here unless they've got a handle because they'll just fall through. Solder is spelled SOLDR, by the way. Right. If I go on pre-order, I think I've got the deluxe, which is a complete solder kit with every module, add-on, and the premium bag, everything included, assembly required. Assembly required. Potentially I've got that then. So I think this retails currently at $255, which equates to 223 euros. Let me share my screen quick. Make life a lot easier. I think it's this one, the deluxe edition. Estimated delivery, so you can see here, October 2025. The actual website itself is really cool. This is what it looks like. Hello, solder. Goodbye, clutter. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, this is the actual site itself, and it goes through everything on the site. So it's an all-in-one scenario for soldering, essentially. Modular and versatile. I can't wait to look at the soldering iron, portable and compact. That's why I'm saying I don't necessarily know if it's going to be for me, because I have my desk, I'm situated at my desk ready to go, rather than like lugging everything around. It does say over 3,500 pre-orders, by the way. The plastic housing is open source. I've seen this. It does look good. Yeah, it does look great. It is, yeah, I can confirm as well. It's open source, yes. Holy cow, how much? Well, I think it works out to be around about £180. What's 233 euros in pounds? So it's we're going to say 200. We're going to say £200, I think. I think that's what this exact version costs anyway. Let me just put that a little bit wider. So let's go ahead and open her up. So we've got some flux. Look at this. Some RMA 223, made in China, no clean. It does say ROHS as well, so it complies with the ROHS directive. I don't know if this is their own flux. Oh, that just pulls off, so it's not even a screwy. It kind of looks slightly runny. So we'll have to investigate that. What kind of flux that we get in here? We've got a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank by the looks of it, a USB-A and a USB-C at the other end. Again, pretty cool. Where does this charge? So would it charge with the USB-A? Perhaps, I'm going to guess. And inside of this, again, you've just got, these are the little rubber bands that I'm talking about. You see these little like holders? That's what I thought they might have on this, but potentially not. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those are a little bit better. And you've obviously got the pouches as well. You've got a zip here as well, just again for carrying stuff around, little bits. Again, I'm looking at this from a perspective of portability, right? Ed, welcome. So let me turn this around now. Oh, actually, wait, I think I open it from this side. So we've got one zip and we've got level 2 zip. Okay, so I'm going to open level 2 zip now, which is the deeper pocket. And here we have, I believe, solder and everything about it. Don't know what that is. Is that a clip of some sort? I don't know. This was just in the bag. I have no idea what this is about. Right there. Again, this is as raw as it gets, by the way, this first impression, because I've not opened this at all. It looks like some sort of 3D printed something. Or nothing. Solder. Clean and brush. No, it's not. Those aren't bristles. It's plastic. It looks cool though. I mean, this looks clean, and this is the bulk of everything. The heavy stuff. Does it look like, is that screw just undone a little bit? No. Is it missing a bit of plastic there, perhaps? I don't know. Can you see how it comes out a little bit? But the other ones all have like a plastic ridge, so I think maybe just a bit of a quality thing there. Let's slide this down then. So, again, I have no idea how this goes. I don't know how it works. This is all... I'm going to be very newbie with this, guys, okay? I'm not even, like... No guides, nothing like that. Do I turn it over? Is it this way? Whoa! Hold on. So that kind of opens like that. And that's is that the stand? Oh, it opens the other way. Oh, here's our... Okay, so we've got some cutters there. So it opens from this way, right? Wait, does it? Am I being silly? I think I am. Let me open this first. So I'll hold that open like that. Oh, okay, wait. So it does go this way. Hence, you know, that being... Oh, okay, I see. I'm getting there. All right, so it opens like that. And then we fold this down. Wow, okay. All right. We are cooking. Sweet. This is really cool, man. Like, as far as, like... Look at this. We've got our soldering iron. It's got a soldering tip. These are just the first things that I'm kind of seeing with this. Let me put it flat for you. For now, just so you guys can see exactly what we've got in here. But that's pretty cool, right? So we've got the cut. I don't know where the cutters were, like where they were stored. I'm going to assume somewhere down here. It doesn't look like they have a place to be stored like everything else does. Unless I'm completely and utterly wrong. I can't see as to where they would fit in here. But everything else, bearing in mind, this has been shipped from, I don't know where, another country. But that is secure, you know? That is like... That's pretty cool. A compact. And this bit has a handle as well. So you can carry this around as long as you secure these bits, I'm assuming. Yeah, that makes sense. But wow, that's really cool. Wait, does that go both ways? No, just that way. That's really, really cool. Let me try and open it again. Guys, how did I open it? Okay, it was that way. Like that. Okay, sweet. So let's have a little look at all the things that we get with this. Again, price point £200. Remember that. Price point £200. This, anything I don't know, I will obviously have a look on the website just to confirm. This is the flux holder. Now, I'm pretty sure most of these things are 3D printed. So let me just stick this over here. Where am I going to stick this? Let me just work out some logistics, guys. 2 secs. Let me put it over here. And then if I need to zoom in on something, I can. Yeah, this looks 3D printed. So it's got like a, is that a magnetic? Yeah. So this thing here, which has been 3D printed by the looks of it, is magnetic. And is that like a cap for the flux? So we have a cap for the flux. Oh, it's like a small twist on. And I will caveat, again, I'm going to say this a few times probably throughout this. This is a very early revision of the stuff. So they could have already made some changes, you know. There we go. Look at that. So that's on. It's a very simple design, but it kind of just makes sense, right? Just twist and pull. Nice. And then you've got, oh, you've got the same, but on the actual needle, the syringe. Look at that. And then where's the, oh, the whole, whoa. Oh, so the whole thing, it's not spring loaded. So, oh, it's just pressure. So wait, do you put the flux directly in here? Did that not get messy? Would that not get a little bit messy? I see why, but I mean, look. In terms of being really portable, it makes sense. But I don't see how that would work long term, and unless I'm being really, really silly. The 3D printing on these products, it does, you can see we've got marks and stuff on it. Somebody in the chat just said, personally not a huge fan of 3D printed parts in final product, cool for DIY though. I do agree, it definitely gives it a cheaper feel, but they're obviously putting together a massive set here for a reasonable price. I wonder what the cost would be for everything. But yeah, something like this is a nice touch. You know, they've already included. Thing is, right? I mean, when it comes to a very small kit like this, like we have here, when you've got a very small kit and you have to fit everything in, does that go in there? No, that would be nice though. You have to take these small measurements and these little shortcuts to get everything in. I mean, is that much smaller than the... It is in terms of, you know, some ways, especially if we take this off, look, 'cause it's all so compact. So if I take that off, like it's, you know, less than half the size of the actual flux. I don't know if the flux is actually included in the final product. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I guess I see why they would do that. And again, with the magnetic stuff, I was just coming in from an angle of like, do you really need this if you've got this? I guess to go the extra mile, you could maybe just have like tinier flux that comes with it. So half that essentially, and just maybe have what that is, because it's already in a tube. And you've already given like a plunger, but I don't know if there's any flux companies out there that obviously do a half tube, a half size. So that might be the issue with that. You see what I'm saying? Regardless, it's cool, right? It's cool. How much can you say about a flux syringe? I guess too much. So let me put that back. One thing I liked about when I looked at this on the website, there was one thing in here. Where is it? You've got this spool of USB-C to USB-C cable. This isn't what I was talking about, how much I liked, by the way. Wow, it's a USB-C cable. It's just there's something else in here, so I will get back to that. But yeah, so you can see this. We just unravel it, and then you've got your power supply, essentially. You've got your USB-C here. I don't know if this is charged. I don't even know how to know if this is on, because there's no lights. And I don't know what's in, I don't know what's out. That might confuse some people. Again, I would go ahead and assume the USB-A is in and the USB-C is out. Light on top. Oh, it's flashing. There we go. Oh, there's a flashing light now. And now it's on. Oh, okay, sweet. How do I turn off? Hold it down. Or just leave it. Maybe just leave it. Or just tap it. Is it a tap? A out? Really? Nah, surely not. 10,000 milliamp hours on this. Okay, cool. So we got that and the spool. How do you just pull on this? Do you just wind it up? Oh wow, you literally just wind it up like that. Look at that. Do you? Oh, it's got like a screwdriver bit here. Again, another 3D printed product here as well. Just as an FYI, this is 3D. Oh, you just spin it? Oh. Okay, cool. I may come across like the biggest noob here, by the way. But I'll take the hit for that.
Hi, Joey.
Yo,
Hi,
sisters,
Chat
thank you
Smiley
very, very much for the Prime for 10 months. I appreciate you. It's very, very kind. I'm also really excited for this, by the way. It's a wire stripper. I'm going to run through this really quick. It's the little things that get to me, right? This thing here is so cool. I've seen, again, a little video of this. Look at that. So you do that. So did everyone else just get that? Did everyone else just get that? Not just me? Anyone else? I thought something was going up in my house. I took my headphones. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was this. Did you hear me listening to the power bank? I was listening to the power bank. I was like, what on earth is going on? Imagine if they could do that for a Joey's Live alert. Yeah. Of course, been advertised for weeks. I've not seen any advertisements about a service alert anywhere.
10
Wow.
months watching and just jumped out of my skin with that stupid alert, haha.
Yeah. I think it got us all. Thank you very much, Stormy, for the Prime for 10 months in a row. Thank you. I appreciate that. You'd only get it if you was in the UK, by the way. So, yeah. All right. We had that a month ago, annoying. Yeah. So, here's my wire strippers. So, the way that this works is you push down and then you slide. Really simple. But I think I'm going to test right now and see if it actually works. Oh, please tell me I've got like some sort of old... Oh, I've got this. Look, I've got this old antenna I could just use right there. Hopefully it's going to work for this size wire. I imagine it will. Let's just cut it first. So, cut. Does that cut it? It does. Look at that. Clean. And then... So if I do that and then just pull, right? So you push down a little bit and then just pull. Oh my gosh, guys, I know, right. People might be like, Joey, it's a wire stripper. What are you talking about? For me, guys, this is revolutionary, you know? It might take a couple tries, actually. It might just be, yeah, look, there we go. And then you just pull. Wow. Stuff like this, right, is priceless. And it cuts super easy. That's amazing. Again, a 3D printed design, but it doesn't really matter if it does what it does. I don't know longevity, how long it will last for. But again, so down, get a good feel for it, and then just forward. And I don't need to pull, but that's so cool. Chop it. I can sit here doing this for days. down and slide. But you need to make sure you get a good enough grip on it. So down and slide. This can take some getting used to, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, this has got like an inner tube to it as well. This is an antenna wire for a PS5. It's got like an inner tube. Wow. There we go. Wow, that's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Again, simplicity, but nice to include. So you got the solution for a wire cutter. Nice. What else we got? Move the packaging over there now. I did give them a heads up that I'd be doing this, by the way. So, didn't say I'd be doing it on our live stream. Okay. Now we can get into that more so the nitty gritty side of things. Okay, so something's just fell out. What's just fell out there? Matt, thank you very much for the follow. Oh, what's that? What on earth? It's a mirror. What's the mirror for? I'll put that to the side for the time being. Is that magnetic as well? Doesn't feel magnetic, no. I'll have a look at that in a sec. I'm a little evil. I just joined to watch to see if you knew the alert was coming in, and it was funny when you didn't. Oh, thanks, Max. What would be the alarm be used for? What type of emergency? It said flooding, anything like that. I'm good, thank you, Danny. 10th Gen i3, it doesn't turn on. I'm okay, thank you, mate. Thank you, though. Meter does look interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to have a look at this. Should we have a look at the multimeter? So the way that they've packed this is that everything just kind of sits. I think I watched, again, a video whereby what they said with this is that they were going to make it so that it was easier for storage for the wires. But, I mean, that's pretty simple as it is, and magnetic. And it goes back very clean, you know? I like it. Look at that. And it's quite strong as well, the magnet. So anyway, okay, look at our little multimeter, man. This is wicked. And then does that pull through there? It does, look. You can also, I'm assuming you can just take it out, right? Right there. Let me take this one out first, and then I can take this one out. Okay. Here's our little multimeter. Look at that. I love how this closes so easy, by the way. Look at this. This is really cute. I like the display. Wait, did it turn off? Oh, is it turned off because... Oh, is it no battery? Maybe it's out of battery. It's a CR2032, so it should last for a while. Let me turn it on to something else and see if it... That's fine. So what, is it just DC voltage? Oh, it's on? It's just turned off. Let me hold on here for a minute. That seems to be okay. Why on DC voltage it turns off? I won't touch it. Maybe like a power saver thing, if you don't use it within 3.2 seconds. This is ohms mode, so resistance mode. So let's check the resistance in the leads. 0.1, lovely jubbly. And if I press select, there we have diode mode, nice. And then if we press select again, we have continuity mode. Do we get a beep? Did it beep? We do. Can you guys hear that? So that's pretty good. We get milliamps as well, and that's capacitance, I'm pretty sure. I'm not somebody who's very smart when it comes to knowing what a multimeter does, other than like the essential bits. But yeah, you've got the capacitance mode there, I'm pretty sure. Hertz as well. NCV, I don't know what NCV is. EF, got to be some like frequency stuff, right? But the important ones, we have our DC, we got our AC, and then we've got the resistance mode, diode mode, and continuity mode in the middle. But I don't know why this turns off. I think it is. I think it is like an what do you say thing, because now it's just off. A bit strange. I like it though. I like it. They feel the leads feel quite cheap, plasticky. You know, they're not like a heavy, durable material. As for the wire as well, obviously you can see it's quite small gauge and stuff, but it might only be what this multimeter requires. You know, it says 300 volt Cat 3, 600 volt Cat 2, and it's true RMS. Don't know what true RMS is. What do we think though, chat? It's Neng. It's pretty cool. I like it. Oh, wait a minute. What about if I press hold? Hold. Does that just hold? Oh, that actually holds the... I never knew that, by the way. Maybe I could do it on mine. It holds the actual... So if you're measuring something, I guess, and then you want it to hold, you can just press hold. I bet mine has that, and I've just never used it. Interesting. It's not terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's a multimeter, right? Cool. In terms of like how compact it is, I like it. Now, can I put it back? It's the question. Probably not. So do you have to slide it through here? That's a bit of a quality of life thing, I guess. I see what they mean now in terms of making it maybe a little bit easier to store away, because you potentially have to do this every single time. Did that go? I can't remember. Did that go the? I could just do that, I guess, and not have it in the holder. Again, we've got 3D printed plastic here as well. Yep. So how does it go like this? Yeah, just slots back in there. It fits nice and snug as well. So can I just put this through the back like that, and then push it down, pull it down? No. I wonder. If I could just do that. So if you take it out, put both of those like that. Does that work? That'll probably work, right? Yeah, and then you shove everything in the back like that. AliExpress for 10 quid. Cool. This feels a little bit wobbly, is what I will say. Not that it's not a horrendously bad thing. What's this? Oh, that's where the other one of those little things were. So we got this, right? So what's that for? Does that sit in there? Guys, what's this for? Does anyone know? It's magnetic for some reason, right? I don't know what this one is for. Again, I'll have to look at the manual for that. Oh, these things sit in here. Okay, so I found the home for these. God knows what they're actually for, but I found the home for them. So that goes there. And then our multimeter literally clips on here. Yeah, look. Nice. And then let me bend this over again. So we got our little flux syringe as well. Oh, there was a... oh, is this the screwdriver? Wait. There was a screwdriver here. Where's the screwdriver thing that I've seen? Because that's really cool as well. It's like a multi-tool. Tweezers. Everybody's best friend. Tweezers. They haven't got any ceramic tweezers, but they got these. Very cheap, as you can tell. They're very cheap. I don't know what else to say about those. They're just cheap. Oh my gosh, you've got different oh, wait a minute. Look at this. I didn't know that. I didn't know they give you different tips. Again, in the deluxe version. I don't know what. I don't want to confirm what you get with what, because again, I'm not too sure. You know, and I don't know if they've like finalized those sorts of details yet. But again, you get tweezers, which are usable, but they're not great. You know, they're definitely low budget, low end sort of tweezers, and they feel quite bendy. You know, not very strong. And then we got, you call that a knife? We got a nice knife here. Sweet. Little pen knife, man. I've not had a pen knife in years. I like that. That blade does feel loose. I don't know if it's meant to. I don't know if you can probably see it wiggling there, but GG. Joey, be very, very careful. And look at this. So the 3D holder printer thing for the soldering iron tips. That's pretty cool. How do you take it out? You've got to be careful or not, because I don't want to ruin these. It's definitely Oh, I take it out this way. I see. So you do it this way. Cool. Same with this one. Same with this one. Well. Okay, so that's that. This is really cool. Oh, the knife slot's in there, so it's got its own little place. Then you've got the tweezer location as well, and obviously you've got the other bits as well. Everything has its home, which is nice. And I guess is what was super important for it to be so compact, right? There we go. I don't know if that's the right way. It probably isn't. And then we've got the tips themselves. Let's go under the scope here and see how the tips are looking. Oi. Okay, here we go. We got our tips. I'll have a look at the soldering iron as well whilst we're here, but let me just have a look at these quick. So, I don't know what kind of tips they're going to be. You'll be able to see the writing just here. So they're like almost cartridges, right? Very, very fine tip there. Wow, look at that. This looks like it's been it's welded, I guess, right? But you've got a very fine tip. What else have you got? People love this tip, the knife tip, guys. I've personally never used a knife tip, you know. I don't even know if I got one. I don't. Should I get a knife tip? I hear nothing but good things about them. They transfer a lot of heat and stuff. But yeah, you've got a knife tip, which is a really nice touch as well. A knife touch. And then you've also got this J-tip as well. Again, just the welding there. I don't know how that's going to transfer heat very well in the cartridge if it's been welded, but... Did I say welding? And then we've got another small tip. Wait, what's the difference between that one and that one? There isn't. So they just give you an extra one, perhaps? Maybe they may just give you an extra tip. Is it the exact same writing? Magma. Are they the same code? Yeah, 252705. Yeah, so these are they're just like maybe spares, I guess. That's really cool. And then if I get the actual soldering iron, just to take a quick look under the scope before we dive into it. That comes with like a magnetic holder as well, which I'll show you in a second. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm going to come to that in a sec. So we have got a holder here. Let me put my W lens on, give us a little bit of a wider viewage. So this is our holder. Again, you can see 3D printed. Tiny, tiny screws in this as well to keep it kind of together. Oh, and that goes up like that. Wait. So our holder's magnetic. I'm just trying to work out how it holds. And can I keep that on? Oh, that doesn't come off. Does it? No, that bit doesn't come off. Does this screw off? Oh, this screws off. I don't know if it's advisable to use it with this screwed in because it's plastic so close to the tip, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that the tip only gets hot down here rather than the actual shaft, should we say. Anyway, shaft is a very strange word there, right? Magnetic. Where did this go? How did this... I'm being very dumb right now, I think. I feel like I'm being dumb. How does this... Does it go this way? Oh, it goes in this section, that's why. So is that like some holder? Oh, wait, that's really cool. Wait. We have found out. We have... like that! Yo, that's actually really cool. You guys seeing that? You got a little stand there, look at that. It's magnetic, so you just crack on. I mean, it does interfere. It definitely interferes. Definitely interferes with the way that you hold your soldering iron. Again, hobbyists, right? But this definitely interferes. So, what's nice? Yeah, you can take that off. But then what? You're meant to screw it in whilst it's really, really hot. I don't know about that one. I like it, but it's just the magnet obviously has to be strong because it has to hold it, right? Like this. It has to. But in terms of it being comfortable, it just feels kind of weird and bulky with this. Without having this bit on, it's nice. As you can imagine, because we've got this little thing here, this little bit of padding. That's really, really nice to hold. It's like a pen. But with this on, it gets a little bit awkward. Yeah, I was thinking that it might melt because of how close it is. But I don't know how much this is going to generate. Anyway, so that's nifty, right? That is nifty, though, how you've got the holder. That's cool. That's convenient. Just there. So you're using it. And then we've got, I'll go through, again, some of the specs of this in a second. But we've got we've got a USB-C input up here. So it's going to give it power. And then we've got like a dial here. It feels like a little bit cheapy, plastic. I'm going to expect it for a certain price point, right? For this whole thing to be 200, I'm going to expect a budget soldering iron. Aphen A11. Really, really cool. Okay, I've never heard of Aphen. We've got a knife tip in here, which is also what we've got as a spare. So you get two spare knife. You get a knife tip and a spare, and you get the really thin one and a spare. And then you get the J tip, which is separate on its own. So that's pretty cool, though. Oh, wait a minute. Does that? Oh, so that like slides. And here we've got a brush. This is a brush for the iron. I'm assuming that's like copper, right? That's pretty cool. I wonder if that like sprays solder everywhere, though. I wonder if that sprays solder everywhere. Okay, interesting. Again, it's also a little bit loose and stuff as well. Production kit, I understand completely. Here we go, let's put it there. Just like if it gets knocked or something, you know, if I'm being like clumsy. Just these sort of like tests. There's screws here, so I can make this tighter or looser, which obviously that would make it tighter. But I love how that is so compact. That is really cool. Fits in nicely. All right. Now, I love this next bit. I'm sure I saw something like a where's this screwdriver thing that, because they've got screwdrivers here. Oh, wait a minute, is this it? What on earth am I watching? How does... I feel like a transformer, you know? Where does that... This whole base is magnetic, by the way. That's cool. And there's a reason for that, I'm pretty sure. So wait a minute. I'm going to take out, because there's screwdriver bits here. Now, where does that plug into? I'm sure there's meant to be somewhere this plugs into. There has to be. I thought it would be this. Unless I'm being really dumb. Which I might be. I mean, there's... Oh, wait. Unless it's the thing that it comes in. Yo! Look at that.
Good morning, Joey and chat.
Yo, Cardboard Straw, thank you very much for the Prime for 15 months. I appreciate you and your face. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that concept. I love that. It's so simple. It's so simple, but it makes sense, you know? So you've got two different types of Phillips. You've got a PH2 and you've got a PH1. An S. That one feels a little bit loose. Is that going the other way? No. Something is meant to go in there by the looks of it. There is a hole, but I don't know for what. This one feels a little bit loose. So that could be a little bit better. This one's nice and snug. Still a little bit wobbly. Yeah. With excessive force, I guess. But this one is, it falls out quite easily. But I mean, if you was holding it like that, you wouldn't really need it to... But I mean, if you're twisting it, eventually it will. So you might have to like hold it and do that. But nifty, nifty, nifty. There was something I was going to use the screwdriver for, but I can't remember. It is what it is. Right, let's put this back up here. I like the modularity. Don't know if that's a word. I'm going to say it is. The modularity of this is really nice. Being able to just like, if I want to put this here, I can. Nice. Or if I want to, you know, put this long thing down here, I can do that. Or I want to put it, I can't put it down there, unfortunately, but I can put it there. I can put it next to the multi, I can put it up here. Like I can put the flux syringe up here. So you can have it how you want it. It doesn't have to go like this. I'm pretty sure the stuff at the bottom maybe needs to stay there. Let me see if the little magnets, which we're going to take a look at in a second. I mean, they hold nicely here, but I think their home is here, right? Anyway, let's move on. So the soldering iron itself, I will give some heat and stuff in a second. We're actually going to test that on a board and see how good it actually is. But you've got the little solder reel here, guys. Let's not overlook this. This looks really cool. Yeah, it is mostly 3D printed. You're right. You're right. I don't know if there's changes that are going to be made to that. I don't know if this is leaded. I think it's unleaded, actually. Can I? Oh, that's so you can take this out of the spool, and I'm pretty sure you do that by using a screwdriver or something in here. But where's that bit of solder gone? I think this is unleaded. FYI. I think this is unleaded. Okay, so that's cool. You've got that there. You've also got the wick here. So what you can do, if you want to keep this super portable, is I can take my wick. I wonder what size wick it takes. I can take my wick. This one would fit on here perfectly. And what size is this? This is super wick 2.5 mil. And 2.5 mil fits on the spool perfectly. So this will probably take what? I want to say 3, maybe 3.5 mil is what this spool will take. But that's really cool. So I can literally just chop that and put it on here if I was like traveling on an aeroplane or something. You know what I mean? I don't think soldering on an aeroplane would be best practice, but that's really cool. And let's see if I can pull that without moving it. I can't. So let me put it in its original place. Can I pull this without it moving? I can. Very good. And what they've done as well is they put little ridges on the wheels so you get a nice good grip when you go to put it back. And what about here? That's really cool. I really like this. This aspect specifically. I like that. And when you roll it, the solder goes back. Not as in, yeah, obviously, Joey, it goes back. But I mean, like, it goes back nicely. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Honestly, pretty cool. And guys, can I just say, you guys would know wholeheartedly if I had an issue with something. I've called it out before whilst doing these live unboxings with, like I said, Tomlov. We know how that situation went. But they went above and beyond to not only rectify it, but explain things further for me. No, Juiced, it's not sponsored. This is not sponsored in any way, shape or form. They sent me the product. They offered me affiliation. I said no for the sake of this because I wanted this to be as raw as possible. This is not sponsored. I will confirm again, not sponsored. Right. I like the product, and I get asked quite a lot about, you know, what people should start with, and I wanted to see if this would be a viable option for people. This is one thing I really wanted to take a look at, okay? This is a fan. A fan / light. What do I mean? So they've got like a magnetic base on the fan here that you can turn around, and I can assume attach. That is a little bit flimsy, but I guess maybe it comes off for a certain reason. I don't know. There's like 3D printing people out there might be able to tell me exactly what the situation is here and what's going on. But I mean, it clips on as long as it holds. I don't see that being a massive issue. I mean, it should be a little bit better quality over time. I think that will wear. But again, this is I'm pretty sure pre-production. Unsure. Don't want to confirm. But maybe that will get a little bit better. And at the top, is it at the top or the side? No, it's at the side. So I'm going to use my power bank here. So let's put the power bank on. And let's use our USB-C spool, which came with it. So I plug one end in here and one end in here. Okay, is this going to work now? Do I get a little light? Do I hold it down? This is the worst light I've seen since 1976. Now, I'm sure, I don't know if something's wrong with it or what the situation is. Let me turn off these. This is on. Ready? It's on. It's off. It's on. It's off. I don't know if something's wrong with it or whether it needs a charge or something. I mean, we've got a little red LED here to indicate that it's getting power. Does the fan work? Let me hold it down. The fan. Okay. The fan's on. The fan's working. And it's quite powerful. Yeah. It's quite powerful. I like it. The fan aspect is good. Let me check the light again. Maybe it's maybe it needed a couple of I don't know. Let me try the light on again. Whoa! All right. Jeez Louise. Lord glove. I'm blind. Why did I put that so close to my face? Maybe for some reason I don't know. That is definitely more like it though. Let me try that now. That's the fan. It's just a one click as well. There we go. That's really cool. So if you're in a dark spot as well, you've got a light, man. Look at that. What? And you can angle it. So you put it up a little bit or put it down a little bit. I feel like the main crux of the light hits here, but we don't really get much here. If I angle it, we still... I guess that's enough, to be honest. I guess that is enough. I can't be too picky there. Again, it is a budget. Well, okay, when I say budget, it depends. You're getting a whole setup here. If you were to price this, instead of having a multimeter, my multimeter straight off the bat is £120, but it plugs into the PC. It does all sorts of bits and bobs. But you got the multimeter £120. My soldering iron is £500. My hot air station is £150. I've got another soldering station that's like £800. You know what I mean? My tweezers, you can't really talk about that, to be honest. Yeah, you've got the solder, you've got the braid, you've got the light, the fume extractor. My fume extractor specifically was £300. So it depends. But that's a lot better than what it was. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if it just had to draw a little bit more power from the power supply. I'm pretty sure that's going to be down to the actual bank itself rather than the item, is what I'm going to say. And then you've got the fan. Yeah, that's really cool. So the fan is going. You can't see it because of how we've got everything. But the fan's on. The light's on. Should we see what this draws? Turn it off. Does that turn off? Is it just a one click off or is it hold down off? Let me hold down. What about a double tap? Because holding it down didn't turn off. There we go. It's still going. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think that's that saying that it's actually quite low. It's flashing. What does that mean? Probably that it's low, right? I mean, it has been sat around for a while, so please, that's on me. You know, that's on me. I wonder how bright this will go. Oh, no, it's back on now. Okay, so that's back on. So let me just try this again. Okay, the light is a lot brighter now. It would be good if they had like light levels so you could save some battery. So if you had like level 1, level 2, level 3. And then you've got the fan. The fan is pretty strong, by the way. Yeah, the fan is pretty strong. Nice, okay. Where's my... I plug in the ammeter. I'm just trying to think how this would be, because it needs... So I've got power here, but I don't know what the power... The power comes from the PC, and then we've got the in, and we've got the out. So what I could do here, I think if I take that out, wait there, let me see if I can work this out, chat, 2 seconds. And then if I go PLD USB, and then if I put this into here, into the USB ammeter, pulse one, as the power supply, and then I plug this in, I should be able to get a reading. That's iPhone, Joey, not USB-C. I should be able to get a reading as to exactly what this is drawing. Sorry, so there's a little bit of a blind moment there. Blind moment. Here we go. Right. So that's what we get. Are we drawing that now? So look, this is getting flimsy already. Can you see this? That's a concern that I'd have. Is this getting flimsy already? You know what I said about it getting flimsy over time? Well, straight away, I think they just need to maybe have a little bit of a better solution for holding that. But again, early production problems and whatnot. And something like this, I feel like is really important for them to obviously see. So how much are we drawing? Ready? There we go. So we can see now exactly how much this is drawing from the power bank. This is directly from the power bank. So the power bank is on. We are drawing 600 milliamps with nothing on, by the way, which is interesting. We are drawing 600 milliamps with nothing on. So this is going to be depleting when it's plugged in and there's nothing powering it. Let's see if that changes. Ready? So let's turn the light on. Did that go to 560 to 580? No. It went up like 1 or 2 milliamps, right? So this is just constantly drawing power. Is that right? Is there a battery in here? That's a really good point. I don't think there is. So if I take that out now, and if I press it, oh, there is. Great spot. Great spot, guys. This has its own battery. That's why it's drawing so much. Okay, cool. So we get 570 milliamp draw. So that is charging the battery in here. Does it say what size the battery is? Modules. Fan plus light. Here we go. LED light provides 1000 lux illumination. USB-C rechargeable, 3 hours worth of runtime, supposedly. Is that like what's this on? Runtime would be on, right? Wow. And you have a replaceable carbon filter for fume extraction. So the filter at the front, does that come off then? Yeah, this will go, so you just pull this out. Nice, okay, and you can just refill that. Sweet. Has got some screws in as well, so you can take this apart if needed, if something went wrong. It's got the little fan signal there in the light, so you don't get confused as to which one you're pressing. That would explain why this wasn't working when I first tried to plug it in, because it was dead. So we're drawing 570 at 5 volts. That's really cool. What's that, like that's like what, 2.5 watts? 2.5 watts? Yeah, nice. Okay, so we take that out. We can have a look at the soldering iron as well and see what that's given out. But that's really cool, guys. I like that. And it just fits nice and snug here, no? Like that. Yeah, that's really cool. Look. Nice. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Let's. There's one more thing that I'm going to check before we have a look at the actual iron itself, and that is these little magnetic feet things. Look at that. So, oh, did that go like that? Pretty strong magnets, hey? Pretty strong, as we can. Not like ridiculous, but pretty strong. Yeah, nice. These are for like just holding PCBs, I'm pretty sure. So the way that you work it is by literally just pressing down on it. So as an example, let me get a Nintendo Switch PCB. Oh my gosh. Leg day a couple of days ago, chat. Oh my goodness gracious me. So we have a Nintendo Switch motherboard. And say I wanted to just quickly put that there, like that. And then you've got this here, around there, and you've got this here, around there, and then this one for good measures, just here. Look at that, holding down that PCB. And if you want, you can just move it. That's pretty cool. Keeps everything nice and sturdy. What I like about this, by the way, is that they have little rubber bits so it doesn't damage the components on the PCB. Do you see what I'm saying? They have little rubber bits, so you're not going to break any components. I'd still avoid, you know, and it's a really simple design, right? It's just a screw in and then they put that plastic around. But it's simple yet complex and quite genius, you know? I would definitely avoid putting that on components still. But nonetheless, pretty cool and a good way to hold the board steady. Yeah, they're 3D printed as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything looks 3D printed. This is probably the most bare bones look at a product I've ever seen, and I'm absolutely loving it. Cool, man. Well, that's the whole thing about this, right? Again, I'll say for the sake of people watching, this isn't a paid promotion or anything. This isn't an advertisement for the company. This is just me wanting to make a video because I wanted to, because I thought the product was cool. And to be honest, the person that I'm dealing with who sent me the product is kind of nice. So I was like, yeah, do you know what? We'll do it. But that's pretty cool. I like it. I just want to get some opinions right now, guys. What are people thinking? We obviously have the cutters as well. This just isn't magnetic, which is why I think it had a problem and fell out a second ago. But it's got like the solder branding on it. What do you think so far? We have got the wire cutters though, flush cutters. What do you guys think? What's your honest opinions? What's the company again? I come in late. Solder, S-O-L-D-R. What do you guys think? Need some kind of hot air. I mean, that would be a task. Are there magnets on the back of those? Yes, there are, yeah. So you can use it like that as well, if you need to. So if you want to use it like that, there's little magnets on the back. You can't see it there. There, they're like slotted in. S-O-L-D-R. This to me is like you've got a bare bones soldering kit which you can buy on Amazon for £20, and that I've seen ones that will give you everything that it has here, everything. But if you're somebody who has a little bit of extra cash, I need to test how the soldering iron is, and you want a portable solution, and I want to confirm you don't have anywhere to do this that isn't a massive desk like I have, and you want to be able to put this on your kitchen side, or you want to be able to put this in your bedroom, or you want to be able to put this in your study, like just somewhere like that. This is really cool to just whip out. I just need to solder a couple of wires. Yeah, let me get these done, blah, blah, blah. Stick this on like that. Give me my soldering iron, and off we go. We're off to the races and just crack on. If I was to sum it up so far, I'd say a kitchen table soldering kit. That's what I'd say. Let's test this iron and see how we get on with this switch, and see if I can see what I can do, if there's anything I can do. I still need to kind of work out what this is. You know, I don't know if this is like a something. I don't know. No idea. Pliers go at the top right corner up here, like that. But you have to like squeeze it in, I guess, like that. Okay, right, I'm going to use the battery, obviously, that's been provided. And we'll go for the same sort of setup. So I'm going to plug it into the ammeter, into the soldering iron. Just so we can get a good read. Right, let's plug her in and see what we get. Okay. So what are we reading? 10 milliamps. 3! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What is going on here? I did see magic smoke, but I don't know what the magic smoke was from. I don't know if it's from the tip. But I mean, that didn't look healthy. I think it was from the tip. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's solder. I think it's where it's just heating up. Here we go. 200, 350, 375. We're at 375. It says 83%, 60%, 1%, 0%. What does this percentage mean? That's pretty cool. So what's going here? What's going on here? I wonder what happens if I put it onto ground. Does it suck up? Does it suck the heat? Power delivery, keeping it at the right temp. Gotcha. So it's going to fluctuate, right? So here we go. temp. So you just literally slide it over. Up to 450, by the way. And look how, supposedly, look how quick that jumps up. Let's go down. What's the minimum? 100. I don't know why you'd ever want 100. Ever. Let's put it down to 2. It's quite, feels quite good. Put that back. Yeah, does this have a battery as well? It has to be plugged in. I'm going to assume it has to be plugged in. So it's 12 volt. It's called an Afen A11, by the way. It's just turned off. Okay. And it's not melting that plastic, is it? No. So at 450 degrees right now. Do I just, if I press it, it turns it off, right? And there we go. We got the 12 volts, 0. And then turn it on. Nice and simple. Okay. Stick it in there. Under the scope we go. Oh, I hope you know I will carry you home, whether it's tonight or 55 years down the road. Okay. Let's go for a big cap right there. See if we can get his cap off. Now, this is a task for any iron, I guess. It's not really a true representation of it. Let's go a little bit closer, get you some more detail. I like how I can just move this board around, by the way. Yo! Whoa!
Happy Sunday.
Are you taking a mic? Hasty Nugget, what's going on? 5,000 bits. You coming in with just that? That's the equivalent of $50, mate, straight into my pocket. What's going on? That's way too much. What's just happened? Thank you so much, mate. Just a reminder as well, Graham6767 on the leaderboard for September with a top gifted subs of 5. Arafel coming in at second place with 1. And HD Nugget taking top spot with the bits at 5,000, by the way, is crazy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for the support. Right, let's see what this does then. Am I going to use this solder? I'm going to use the solder that it comes with. I'm going to use the solder that it comes with, and I'm just going to put it on the tip and see what happens. First time ever using a knife tip, by the way. Is it on? Oh, no, it's off. Maybe it's got a time that it turns off if not being used. It heats up really quickly to 450, by the way. Let's see what happens. Wow. It's kind of clean. Well, I say clean, not as in clean as in clean. I don't know what this residue is. If I just... This is without flux, by the way. This is just me having a poke. Right, I know that this is obviously like first. Yeah, so that brush, by the way, does fling solder everywhere. Like I thought it might. So I'm going to say just be careful with that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a second. I'm going to cheat here, guys. You might be thinking, Joe, what are you talking about cheating? I need a pad, you know? So what I'm going to do is blast this board with some heat and take off some stuff. Because it's kind of unfair to show something like trying to take off a component, for example, with a soldering iron. I mean, it's not its intended use. Whereas I can now have a look at these pads. Now it's going to be really hot, so I'm just going to wait for it to cool down for a second. You're welcome, mate. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, Nugget. Honestly, it's incredible. Thank you. Nice things happen to nice people. Voltage drop in your USB power supply is a bit concerning. Do you power it included? Yeah, this is the power bank. This isn't my USB power supply. This is the power bank. Found a streamer and just chatting. I'm ready to learn some stuff. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, here we go. So I'm going to take this off now again. And it's still at 450, so it hasn't turned off just yet. I'm just going to use the knife tip here. I got to be honest. This is really nice. Because this is a really small tip as well. It's dropping to 400. So it's definitely like taking some power to utilize. 400, 410. But that's done a really good job at soldering. I know it sounds stupid. Guys, I think this is unleaded solder as well, by the way. I'm pretty sure this is like unleaded. Now, I'm going to say this again. Guys, this is mostly for people who are like hobbyists, I think. Who are like soldering very basic things. And if that is the case, it's incredible. I can't lie to you. I really like the product. I would never do this, not even with my normal iron, by the way. But I'm just showing like how good this is. Like this solder is going somewhere and it's on the board. There's a little bit on the iron, but nowhere near as much as what I just put in. I can't lie, it's really nice. Let me just get the wick. So let's test the wick that it comes with. So here we go. I'm not using any flux, I'm just going to say. The wick that it comes with. The wick is not good. Can you, like, this is without flux, but let me show you something. So like it's sticking, it's horrible. And it's not doing its job. Where's my wick? Let me see how much of a difference it makes. Without flux, FYI. I wonder if my wick makes a difference. This is my super wick. The stuff that I use. I mean, guys, look, if that doesn't prove to you that wick is important, without flux, FYI, then I don't know what is a better representation of how much that just like soaks up without any flux compared to the other wick. Look at that. So the wick provided. So again, this is solder without flux. Okay, we have to really bear this in mind. The soldering iron is great, by the way. I can't lie to you. This is a Nintendo switchboard, which is, again, it would be deemed obviously a console and not something like soldering some wires for an amateur or beginner or a hobbyist. This is a Nintendo switchboard. The soldering iron gets a massive pass from me. This is incredible. The wick. Let me put it back in its holder. Let me use the flush cutters here to just trim this wick. Again, this is the wick that comes with the kit. Look at that. Nothing. It's too thick or something. I don't know. It's just not even taking it up. Let me use my wick. Flush cutters. New piece. My wick. Wow. What on earth? I didn't even know wick makes that much of a difference. I genuinely did. And that's without any flux. That is just using separate wicks. Wow. I am shocked, by the way. This is a great advertisement for Super Wick. I can confirm that. Jeez Louise. Is it a huge roller wick? Yeah, but mine's also a huge roller wick. This is the one that I'm using. I'm using it in the holder. Theirs is definitely shorter. Theirs is not wicking up. I'll try it with flux. Should we try it with flux? Give it the benefit of the doubt. Soldering iron, fantastic. Really, really good. I'm actually really surprised at how well that's done. It's really good. Let's use some flux. Benefit of the doubt. Flux I'm going to be using is Kingbow. That's just what I actively have at the moment. See what happens with flux. I should have used the flux that was included in theirs. Let's see. Eventually. Eventually, and sticking. But it does the job. So you will have to use quite a bit of flux on here. But this wick doesn't wick up nice. Like, it's not a nice wick, in my opinion. The wick gets a no from me. Let me show you, for example, with the same solder that comes with the kit, and my wick, I won't even trim it. This is my wick now. Can you see that? Look, so much better. Look at that, beautiful. It does over the two, look at that. Now one of them's going to get stuck, but that's because of me. That's my newbiness of putting it over two of them rather than something else. I just have to lift it slowly. Look at that. It's nice, man. It's nice. It's nice. The wick that I'm using, their wick isn't great. I can't lie. The wick isn't fantastic. Solder seems okay, even though I think again it's unleaded, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue. Where's my isopropyl alcohol? Oh, that could have been something they included as well, right? A little tube of IPA, a little not a tub, but like a little tube of IPA. That'd be good, because that's quite high on the list of things needed when soldering. I mean, yeah, I can't lie. It cleans really nice as well. This oh, again, that's my flux, isn't it? Should I use their flux? Let's use their flux. See how much of a clean job that does. Yeah, soldering iron is really good. I mean, it's still on now at 450. Let's use their flux. Where's the little screwy syringe? Where's that gone? I've put that somewhere. I can't find it. Never mind. Ignore that for now. Wow, that's super clear flux. Super clear flux. Lord, a glove. Right, see what happens. Using their solder, 450. What? We're worse off. We're worse off. Let me try and put it directly on the pad, even though I wasn't doing that before. What? Oh, there we go, eventually. That was a struggle. That was a struggle. For example, the flux is off now. Let me wick it. My wick. Not mine personally, but you know what I mean. I'm going to do it without the flux. Bodge, can you make a note for me, please? If at all possible. I don't even know if you're here. Timestamp of the stream, which is 1:56. Wick difference. Or like 1:54 or something, because it was a few minutes ago. Wick difference. Just something to note. If possible, please, my friend, and thank you. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. I've just had to disconnect it because a magnet came out, which is now burnt because it was attached to the iron, like that. Ask me how that happened. The holder. Let me show you what happened. So I had it here. I had the holder. Had it plugged in. There is a magnet that goes down there. Let me push it back in. So I've just pushed the magnet back in to where you've got the holder, which screws on, by the way. Oh, wait. Wait, so that's the magnetic holder bit, but where's the screw bit gone for this? Is it still on the end? Wait, what's going on? Oh yeah, look. So, Chris, welcome. Thank you very much, mate, for the Prime for 29 months. I appreciate you. Thank you. How you doing? You okay? So this, where does this bit go? It goes like there. Or there. Does it go like that?
Just because you're a great bloke.
Well, that's very nice. I appreciate that. A lot of people wouldn't say that was the case, but thank you, Cassena. I appreciate that. I'm so confused. You've triggered a hype train, guys. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's very kind of you. Hype train level 1. We are in September as well, which I believe is off percentage off gifted subs and your own subs, chat. I appreciate all the support. Thank you. I'm trying to work out how this has happened. Unfortunately, it was. I think it was going really, really well. Where does that? Oh, I think it clips in. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that clips in there. It just clips in, right? And then that screws into here like this, and that's where the holder goes. Cool. What happened? I don't even know what happened, you know. I pulled this off, and there was a magnet on the end, and this had come off somehow. I don't know how that's come off. Ah, there we go, like that. So it was like that. Whoa, 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 guys.
Who says you're not a nice bloke, Joey? I'll fight them.
No fighting needed, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Retro coming in with the 300 bits. Retro, thank you very much for the 300.
Into sub. Have a good stream.
Wow, that's very, very kind of you. Tom, thank you very much for the £2 free super chat. I appreciate you and your face. And Squeaky, thank you very much for the 18 months in a row. It's incredible. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. Thank you. 2 seconds, guys. Wait there.
I enjoy it here.
Okay, yeah, Squeaky, thank you very much for the 18 months. You're absolutely legend. White Gates as well, thank you very much for the tier 1 for 3 months. And I enjoy it here. Hype Train level 2, guys, thank you. LK is coming in as well with 100 bits. Thank you very much, LK. Appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for the Hype Train, guys. Would it be possible to upload the streams to YouTube as well? I'm going to upload this as a video anyway. But yeah, in terms of the VODs, I do upload the VODs on YouTube. They're just in an unlisted playlist. So yeah, obviously what happened there, isn't that great? This just unclips. So, and then what happened was a magnet came out of here and attached itself to the actual iron tip itself. So that clips on like that. So that is it clipped, and then that is where you're meant to unscrew. But for some reason that unclips. Unclips because I don't know why. And that's just a pulley out. That's cool. I like the cartridge swap. That's pretty cool. Again, it's not hot at the moment, but that's pretty nice. But as you can see, it's broken again. So the holder is broken. If that makes any sense. Because I can now unscrew this, look. And that should be attached onto here. And it's because, I think it's just because it's 3D printed. Guys, again, this is not the final product. I have to stress it. It's not the final product. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt with that. But the concept for this, I think, needs changing. I love the fact that you're able to put it in a holder. That is awesome. And the actual holder itself is really, really cool. Could just be worth having that a little bit more robust, as well as the fact you can't have this coming off with a pull, because again, I'd just done that completely by accident. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, I pulled that off, and then a magnet got stuck on there. I panicked. Things got panicky. But what I will say is that this soldering iron, this Atom A11, is fantastic. It's really, really, really powerful. Really powerful. So if I plug it in again, USB, see, Bosch. Then we go over to the scope. I'm just going to... Right, this is a huge, huge ground plane right here. Huge, right? It's the Nintendo Switch. 450. What I was showing you guys... let me go back to what I was showing, which is this. So I'm not going to use flux now, which is what I didn't use in the first place. Okay, I'm not going to use flux. And watch this. Oh, it's not working now. I've been called out. Oh no, there we go. Look. Yeah, it's user error. So that, fine. And then, if I was to then use flux, that wouldn't have worked. It's crazy. What's going on now? So I've got like... Was the heat maybe? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Breaky. Yeah, something like that. But now, for example, I'll show you. Look. I'll take that out and I'll use directly from the pack, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen with whatever USB-C solution you're using. I don't know if the wire is too heavy. Maybe the wire is too heavy, but I mean, the wire isn't necessarily too heavy. It could be that the wire was a bit heavy, but that is very like, if I just tap this, you can see with the strength that I'm using, you see how much that goes down.
Your
Whoa!
channel is great. Thanks for the knowledge and entertainment.
Fox coming in with £18.51 straight to the PayPal. Fox, thank you so much. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it might be because of the heat. When it's hotter, it's obviously the magnet, and now it's doing it with even this. Well, no, it's okay now. But I mean, that is very, very loose. So the holder isn't very holderish, you know. And I think it's because of the heat. I think it's because obviously we've had the iron on for a while now. One thing I was going to show you, right, is this. So this is what the solution that they give as like a wire brush for the solder. I'm actually going to go under the scope for this. I think this needs changing as well for like if they were to replace this with like a what do you call it? A little ball. James.
Evening, Joey.
Evening,
Hi
mate.
all. What's going to be for dinner, Joey? I need an idea for myself.
Oh, I'm very boring tonight, mate. It's chicken, rice, and veg. Yeah, 2 chicken breasts, about 75 grams. Sorry, how much rice? 150 grams worth of rice when it's cooked, 50 grams when it's not cooked, and just some veg. Very boring tonight, mate. So if you want to be boring, join me. Thank you very much, though, for the legendary status membership, 20 months in a row, mate. And Sammy P coming in with a Prime subscription. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. What I will say is there's like remnants of like soldering bits all over my mat. And the reason for that is because when you use this, it does spray everywhere. Even if you try and like just dab in here, if I get a little bit of solder, I'm going to try and capture this on camera, but I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to. So I just put some solder here, and yeah, I then go to scrape it off. So right there, it went onto my arm. It went onto my arm, but you can see it like flinging off. That was more of a like a stroking. But if I put a big dab on, and even if I was to do that, I've not really done it at this point. But there is little bits of solder that's like flies off. You know, that's what I'd say. It kind of just like flies off, which isn't ideal. I'd definitely suggest more of like a ball for this. Rather than this. Now, the solution is like what I've got for my Hacko. Imagine this just on like a smaller scale where you've got a little compartment and you can just dump it in. And I think that's why this sort of this product exists the way it does in the ball. So when you're doing that, the solder can't fling around everywhere. You can see the amount of times that you just like miss the thingy. But I think it's so the solder doesn't fling everywhere and it's in this like dome shape. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think this is a move. I see what they try to do, especially for like saving space, but it just flings it everywhere. So I don't think that's ideal. This is, again, I'm going to say it for like the 4th time here. This is a pre-production unit. They're still making changes to the final iteration of this. Who do I think this is for? I think this will be eventually when it's fully ready, and I would love to get my hands on maybe another kit after like the first release. But I would say this is definitely for a hobbyist enthusiast who is dabbling with something like, I'll give you an example, Nintendo DS Lites. Nintendo DS Lites. When I was working on Nintendo DS Lites when I first started the channel, that's when I bought my first soldering iron kit off Amazon. Now, granted, that was £20. This is 10x that. So I have to also bear that in mind. But the quality of the stuff that I had was not as good as this. The soldering iron was horrendous. It had a dial. It broke all the time. It was awful. The tip was horrendous. This soldering iron is very, very good. I like this soldering iron. I like the amount of tips that it comes with. The multimeter seems to be a-okay. I've not, used it too much. I like the fan with the light. That's really important for me, and I say that a lot. Health is wealth. I feel like it's really important to, it doesn't do the best of jobs. It just kind of filters the fumes that you get from the flux, etc. And it just kind of makes them a little bit cleaner rather than completely gets rid of them. If you want something that's going to really sort you out, you're spending £300 on a proper fume extractor. So for this specific kit, there's so many positives to it. I feel like a lot of it being 3D printed is probably one of the biggest negatives. Or I don't know much about 3D printing myself. So it could be in the quality of the 3D print. Maybe they're not using a good quality of 3D printer. I personally don't know. I have no idea. But it just seems like some of the bits for this are a little bit soft. And the issue being is that when you have things that are soft with 3D printing and you introduce heat, it's obviously not going to go very well. I love the functionality aspect of having a stand for your soldering iron. Like, the functionality and the idea of it is amazing. It just needs, in my opinion, quality of life updates. That's what it needs. It needs QOL updates where things are a little bit more rigid. This, I think, needs to be changed into like some have like some enclosure, so at least it's not spitting everywhere. The magnet, like having this magnetized, the helping hands is absolutely awesome. The wick is rubbish in my opinion. The solder seems to be fine. And I haven't used this in a broad range of experiments, guys. We also have to remember that I've done a little bit of soldering on a Nintendo Switch board. But yeah, I'd say the solder itself seems to be absolutely fine. The flux syringe may be a little bit overkill if you've already got a flux syringe, and you should just be able to like maybe come up with a holder for this and include that rather than having this. But yeah, as an all-in-one solution, I really, really like it. Would I advise somebody to spend their money on this? Not as it currently stands, but with those quality of life changes, and if it was more robust, absolutely. I'd have no problem with saying to somebody, if you're a starter and a hobbyist enthusiast and you have the money for it and you're willing to spend around about that £200 mark, this, and you don't have the space for a complete setup and all of those things, this is a good option. Would I suggest it for console repairs? I'd probably say no at this moment in time. I'm talking maybe like bigger boards, for example. I do genuinely think that iron will be okay, and maybe that's a test that I can do in the future, is testing this on like something that's maybe like a Series X. Can you imagine that? See how this works. But I think for the sake of somebody who's getting serious about console repairs and you're moving into more of like an intermediate level, I don't think this is the thing. Beginner tinkerer has more of a budget than, you know, other people that are coming in with a price point of say £50. I'd say this is like a replacement of that kit, if not that next step up, if it makes sense. I love the idea. I love the portability. It just, for me, needs to be a little bit more robust with some of the things. That's what I would say. Chat, do you think that is fair? This is obviously it's a box opening, first impression sort of review on a pre-production product. Yeah, it needs work on a few areas for sure. And I feel like the more you use it, probably the worse that things are going to get because of the way that they're 3D printed and the way that heat interferes. But like I said, as for portability and ease, it's not bad at the moment. When they come with like a finished product, I think this is going to be great when there's a finished product. But it all depends. Like what is the finished product? We don't know. So we need to be able to see that before I can confidently give any more advice on it, you know. But listen, I appreciate Solder for sending me out the unit. This was not, again, a paid review in any way, shape or form. There was commission mentioned, but I said no, just because I wanted this to be as authentic as it possibly could. And I think we've done a good job of that. Fair assessment. I think a fair assessment. I really need a Wii. Let's put some music back on. I'm gonna see how easy it is to actually reassemble. I think that would be relatively important, you know. So let's see how it is putting it back together. I didn't try the mirror, no. I don't know what the mirror is. Maybe I should have looked it up. Was that magnetic as well? It must have been, right? Oh, a smartphone microscope. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Compartment to place screws. I guess you could use these little compartments here to place screws if you wanted to. After you're taking the stuff out, you know. Did they go that way? Or did they go that way? Oh, is that another magnet? It's just fallen out? Oh, no. That's the inductor. Yeah, they go this way, I'm pretty sure, right? People might be able to confirm. There we go. Okay. I just need to check my phone, guys, because, like I said, mini JDT is not very well, so... Okay, right. I'm just going to go to the toilet real quick. BRB. Ugh!
I would love to see more tests of the soldering iron itself. Thinking about buying it separately.
Hello. Sorry, guys. Hua! Then you try the microphone thing, like what Matt said. I can maybe try that a little bit later. I mean, again, it seems kind of, because it's got the 3D aspect of it. I'm just trying to put everything back at the moment. Yeah, it just seems a little bit... Wait, does that just fold over like that, guys? I can't remember. It was like that. It was, wasn't it? Then we had the wire brush underneath. Like that. There we go. Wait, where's the other tweezers gone? Obviously the wire stripper as well. I really like the wire stripper, it's really good. I don't know where the other tweezers have gone. Tweezers! You guys see them? They're my tweezers. Oh, they're here. Found them, found them, found them. How's everyone doing on this fine, lovely day? Thank you for joining my stream. Appreciate it. Awesome to have you guys here. I need to take those out because I need to put these things in first. I should try the different tips maybe as well, but it is what it is. I guess as far as like a first sort of basis review goes, we'll take it. You know what I mean? How does... It's really cool. I do really like how snug everything is, and then that just goes there, like, bosh. It's cool. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. Squeeze it up there. For a minimalist who's like, he wants to keep everything tidy and everything like that, this would be awesome. Look at that. I'm pretty much done, right? A few more things to pack away, but final product. and they want mass production, it will be injection molded anyway. So it'll be ABS, I assume. Yeah, I don't know. Swiss Army knife. Exactly, yeah. Still don't know what these bits are for. Oh, there's the syringe bit. And then look, just like that. It is cool, man. It is cool. You just lock it up there like that, so it ain't going anywhere. It is cool, man. Your little carrying handle, look. Imagine rocking up to school with this. Jubbly. If I was really confident in my abilities and I was looking for a job in soldering, do you know what I do? I take that to the interview. I say, watch this. I say, I can work on this. Imagine what I could do if you give me the tools. I mean, how long did that take me to pack away? Without knowing exactly what everything meant. Like hardly any time at all. Where can these fit? Yeah, you can't deny it's a really, really cool design. Look at that. Oh, this pulls out. Does it pull out more, or have I just broken it? I feel like I've broken it. Yo, Zed! Thank you very much for the prime, mate. I appreciate you. It's very kind. Concept, really cool. Oh, I forgot to put this back in. That's okay, I can stay there. I liked it. I did. I do like it. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy that? Something a little bit different? Sending well wishes to the mini JDT. Get well soon. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's all it is at the moment is just like a little bit of a cold and a sniff and those sorts of things. I don't know whether it's going to develop into something more serious, because these things usually start really minor and then they develop into something, right? So it kind of depends. I missed it. There'll be a video on it, Greg, so you'll have an opportunity to watch it again, my guy. That was cool. Most modern printers. It's a soldering kit for beginners. Exactly, yeah. One in the chat if you enjoyed that, guys. And again, I'm hoping to hopefully get some stuff soon so we can actually do some fixing on stream. But I think that's pretty cool. Guys, I'm going to shoot off, do some editing and whatnot. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. Thank you for the support. Specifically, a shout out for those bits, which are absolutely incredible. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. And the PayPal donor and stuff that come in as well. I genuinely, really, really appreciate it, guys. So thank you. If you enjoyed it, obviously hit the thumbs up button on this this stream. Hit the follow button on Twitch, etc., etc. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one, which is probably going to be on Tuesday. But if I don't really necessarily have the stuff, probably won't be until Thursday. But I shall probably send a message on Discord to let you guys know. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And until next time, peace. See you later, guys. Much love. See you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye. awkward part now where I have to end it on 3 different platforms. Much love.